Hey guys, Nicholas at the Olympia School of Guitar, and I thought I would share with you some of the resources that I use for my teaching, getting ready for lessons or just things that I pull from that I think are really helpful. And so we'll start with this one. This is called the Guitar Grimoire, and this is the Chords and Voicings book, and it is thick, and there are just hundreds and hundreds of chords and scales. And so let's take a look here at one of these, whatever. This is the 6th chord. So you can see it shows you all along the fretboard all of the notes that are in a 6th chord. And then it also on this side, it shows you all the scales that would work with that chord. And you've got all these notes here, so you can actually build the chords however you want to. You can kind of decide how you want to voice those chords. I know that may be beyond some people, but this is a pretty cool resource to have. It also shows you, see if I can find it. So it kind of demonstrates in here how you might voice some of these chords. It has inversions and just any kind of chord you want, like back here, sharp 5, flat 9, or major 11 chord, or whatever. So really interesting book, good resource. Another one, this is kind of a standard resource, not one that I've used a ton right now, or that I don't use it a ton right now, but Modern Method for Guitar, Berkeley Press, obviously well-known school, really good resource, and that's in 2 volumes. So you could go through these books. Might take you, I don't know, 5 years. Take a while to get through those. These ones I pull for my children's lessons, and I don't have the children go through these books. I don't really like going through books straight through because I think that's just a little bit too. It can get a little bit sterile, and I think it's too boxed in. Everyone's going to learn at a different pace, so I don't stick someone through the book. I make my material fit the student. And but these 3 books are also, they have some really good resources, some good songs and stuff in there for the kids. Now for the more serious guitar player, the classical guitar repertoire and studies albums. There's actually 8 of these. I have 4 of them right here. These are really, really excellent books. There's no tab in these, folks. So if you can't read music, you cannot play any of these songs out of these books. So that's why I say this is really for the serious guitarist, but really excellent. I had to play a lot of this stuff when I was in college. Another one that I use for beginners, the Ernie Ball's How to Play Guitar. Another good one. It's got 2 different distinct sections here. The white section is for reading notes, and then the yellow section is for reading chords. And it's got songs, and it starts off really nice and easy. Again, I don't make people go through these, from beginning to end necessarily all at once or anything like that. But it's got some good explanations in here. And but I use my own kind of methodology for chords. Of course, you have to have, some Stevie Ray Vaughn in your repertoire. And this is cool. I like to pull licks and stuff out of this and use that in lessons. If someone's really ambitious, yeah, we can learn the whole song out of here. But this is high level playing, so a lot of people are not going to be doing that right from the beginning. This is a pretty good book. New York City Guitar School published it, Guitar for Absolute Beginners. And, I like to read as many guitar books as I can. I've been playing for 21 years, so I'm obviously not an absolute beginner, but, it's good to go back and kind of read what people are using, what people are doing to teach, beginners. And, you can always learn something new as a teacher when you look through some of these books that you maybe take for granted. So this these are just a couple of like practice planning books. I don't actually use these, but I created my own practice log, and I pulled just ideas from some of these books and combined them into my own book that I created. And but these are definitely worth having and using. Another 100 songs for kids, of course. Got to have songs for kids. Guitar tab white pages. This is volume 1. I don't know how many volumes there are. I know there's at least 3, but a bunch of classic songs in tab, and also notation, which is helpful if you read notation. And that is a massive tome of awesome music. Another, for the serious guitar player, if you're going to be studying music theory, if you're going to go study in college, that's a thick book too. That's probably one that you're going to encounter in college. How to Teach Guitar, I read this one a long time ago. That one. This book is excellent. I really highly recommend this book. This is actually the very first guitar book that I ever bought, and my teacher recommended it to me. Really good. It's really actually pretty comprehensive. I would say it would be best to get this book and actually study it with a teacher. Some of the concepts in here are difficult if you've never done them. They're difficult if you've never seen them demonstrated. Some of the theory concepts in here need, some extra explanation, but it is a really excellent book for reference, especially after you've learned some of these concepts. Another classical guitar studies, really good book there. This one gives me nightmares, actually, because it is so technically focused. I mean, this book is insane. And I would not give this to a student and have them play everything in here. I mean, this starts, the very beginning, the very first exercise is how to play one note per string. And it is incredibly boring. And I would never put a student through that unless they were really, really serious about playing classical guitar. But there's so many different exercises in here that you can do. And I'll pull some of these and just use the concepts. I don't necessarily have them do the exact thing that's listed here because they're very tedious and they can get real boring really fast. But there are some really, really good exercises and a lot of really excellent concepts in here that you can use to become a better guitar player. So I don't know that I would say go out and rush out and buy this one, but this is a good path to virtuosity. It is a really good book. It's just, it can get a little bit boring. This next book is one of my favorite books ever just because of the title and the cover. Pumping Nylon by Scott Tennant. And it's for classical guitarists, but I use some of the concepts in here in my own teaching as well. And again, just a really good technical manual, some really good techniques explained in here and really good exercises. There's a finger independence exercise in here that I think is just absolutely indispensable. Really excellent. And then some other, these last few, these ones I just bought and I have not read them, but they look really interesting. So this is Music Education, Source Readings from Ancient Greece to Today. That should be a fascinating one. This one, not even about teaching guitar. This is teaching piano in 2 volumes. And I bought these because I want to, well, obviously because I want to be a better guitar teacher. And what I'm planning on doing is, seeing how piano teachers approach teaching the piano and how could I apply those concepts to how I teach guitar. And I think that will be a really fruitful study. And then, of course, I just bought this because, you got to have it. Guitar for Dummies. I looked through a little bit of it yesterday, and there's actually some pretty cool stuff in here. I don't consider myself a dummy, but I thought this would be interesting to look at. And then this last one, this is Noah Adams, who hosts All Things Considered. And he, at age 51, he started taking piano lessons. So this just kind of piqued my interest. I thought it would be interesting to read someone's journey into playing a musical instrument for the first time as an adult. So I think that'll help me maybe become a better teacher as well. So anyway, that's just a few of the resources that I pull from. And then I also recommend, not that, but my guitar magazine of choice is Premier Guitar. I enjoy it quite a bit. Got some good tabs in there and always tasteful advertising. So I appreciate that too. All right, let me know what you thought. If you want some more info on these books, where you can get them, or if you have any questions about anything there, let me know. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions.